We are Art of War.
And we believe in creating a community where people can talk about, learn, and improve their skills at Warhammer 40K.
Our channel has live stream competitive matches of 40K played by the best players in the world.
And we focus on teaching you how to get better at Warhammer while also emphasizing sportsmanship and engagement with our audience.
We strive to play every faction in the game to a top level, while also using a variety of lists to show off different playstyles for every faction.
We also offer a variety of other videos such as codex reviews, faction rankings, and tactics videos.
When you join our channel, you become part of our community, where we emphasize learning and positive conversation about competitive 40K.
You get early access to our videos, sub badges, emotes, as well as rewatch those hangout and hobby sessions.
Joining our community is a great way for you to show your support for us, so we can keep making awesome videos for you and continuously expand the bounds of competitive 40K.
What's up?
What's up, everyone? We did it! I clicked buttons! I was so proud of me.
Nick has learned to click buttons.
I learned to click buttons. We got the dynamic duo here. The two heads of Fate Weaver. The double-headed bird.
I don't know about that. Fate Weaver's dead. He lives inside Farsight's pocket. Right in his commander suit, there's a pocket, and Fate Weaver lives right inside of there. And he's never to come out.
Flamingos.
He got Dawnbladed into oblivion, Nick.
No.
He's gone.
Dawnbladed.
Farsight's
Farsight's gone. He's in oblivion.
He's still living.
What is this? We got a super chat from Kyle Norman. $10. Thank you so much, Kyle. If you could make one unit that's unplayable in your favorite army top tier, which would it be? My favorite army is demons, but my answer was going to be Kroot. I freaking love Kroot.
But the Krutox Riders, right?
Krutox Riders don't even.
They're agile
don't
brutes,
even,
Nick.
don't
They're
even.
agile brutes.
But if it's got to be demons though, because it's my favorite army. Not much. Soul Grinders. Soul Grinders suck, and they really shouldn't be suck. They're kind of cool. Make Soul Grinders great again.
What would be needed to make a Soul Grinder great?
I don't know, a lot, but do it. Like, a million different directions. You're starting with a blank canvas here.
What does the Soul Grinder even do?
The Soul Grinders is a big crab defiler creature, so it's got to have similar stats to that. But other than that, go buck wild. He's got a phlegm cannon. He's got a tongue attack. These are rules from the past. You could be very creative with those kinds of names.
Didn't we have 3 Soul Grinders and you traded them on into Warfire Minis?
Yeah, but now we have 3 more, so we have 6 Soul Grinders at one point. I traded 3.
6.
Yes.
My gosh.
Yeah.
Nick was ready for the 6 Soul Grinder meta.
I've never had too many Soul Grinders. What about you, Siegs? What's your unit you want to get?
Since Nick didn't do it, I'm going to do it. The Krutox Riders.
I think I
Krutox
did
Riders, the Greater Gnarlai, bring him back, get the Forge World rules again. Make the crew good again. Mercenaries.
It's all about the Soul Grinder. I could have said Fate Weaver, but that would be acknowledging Fate Weaver isn't perfect already. Fate Weaver is perfect. He's perfect.
Fate Weaver's
Perfect
dead.
flamingo creature.
You know what? You know what the actual answer is, Nick? It's the Taunar. Let's make the Taunar great again.
No.
Give it back Battle Suit. Make it 700 points again, and let's start.
You know what we're doing today, everybody? We are painting Harlequins.
Do you remember when the Taunar stomped all over Azurman?
This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for many of our paint stream viewers. To witness me painting Harlequins is truly a sight to behold.
I mean, we probably still won't see it this stream, but the attempt.
No, we are going to see it. Like, there's nothing else to see besides these painted Harlequins on the stream. Where's my paint pal? Oh, there he is. Good old trusty sidekick right here.
John's been using it.
Of course John's been using it. John's got no respect.
He's been using the wonderful Army Painter wet palette.
That's good too. Highly recommend.
Where is number 33?
There's some purple life left in this wash. Oh, wondering if Nick will finish a horror today. No, the horrors are in the other box, and we can't go get that, so we're painting Harlequins today.
It's literally next to you.
Yeah, but we can't go get that.
I put the pink horrors, the teal horrors, excuse me, right
Yes.
next to me.
Don't throw shade at my horrors.
They're teal horrors.
Yeah, but it sounds like you're saying that in a shady manner.
I just said
One
teal.
of which you're throwing
I
shade.
like teal. You know I like teal.
That's right, you like teal.
I had a bunch of teal armies, and so Nick was like, I need more teal models.
Well,
We don't have much pinks, but we can't possibly have pink horrors.
Siegs has a monopoly on the colors red and blue, so that's pretty much a lot of them.
That's all the colors that you want. I don't have purple, though.
No, I got the purple on Mark. But Mark's Emperor's Children, though.
That is true. He's got the pink and the purple.
He's got the sauce. The source.
As you will.
As I will.
Mark also had a GT win this weekend.
Yeah, he did. Bringing one home for the Art of War, baby. And Brad Chester. Back-to-back Art of War wins.
He brought Siegwald the Magnificent to the tournament as Mortarion and won it. Siegwald's undefeated.
Siegwald.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Magnificent.
Yeah. Oh, Siegwald. Oh, there's a lot of words coming in here.
Nick has to learn how to read again.
I should have got my glasses for this.
Do you want your glasses?
That wouldn't hurt.
Where are they? That's a question.
They are either in my bathroom or on the counter or on the table or in my bedroom.
Or in your car?
Or in my car. I think I brought them in from the car.
Alright. Let's see if we can find Nick's glasses.
This is, how long do you think this is going to take? I want an over-under. There's about a 30-second lag. So you're probably going to be answering these before he gets back, so it's okay. How long will it take for GW Fix Drukari's 77% win rate? It's just absurd. It is really, really high. I will say part of it is meta shock as well. Like Drukari don't play like all the other armies, like Dark Angels and Death Guard. They basically play the same way to the other most recent armies we've gotten, so I would let it settle a little bit. But I'm sure GW is well aware of the 70-something% win rate. I know for a fact they are. So one can hope. Speaking of which, Siegs has found my glasses. I can see things. This is magical. Magical times.
It's almost like they help. Almost.
But they're so dirty that I can't really see my Harlequin when I'm painting. These are my problems.
Here, dip this. Dip this in.
Ah, but then this is like red water.
No, it's brand new. I just cleaned it. It's fresh water.
It looks red. Alright, we're cleaning the glasses. Let's see. Any specific unit buff / hopes for the Craft World Codex? I would love if Howling Banshees and Swooping Hawks were cool. Best aspect hosts by a solid mile. Don't fight me on that, Six. It's true.
They're just not. The Howling Banshees are the worst. Let's start with that.
Okay, so Siegs is just wrong, but that's okay. What can you expect from these robots? They malfunction every now and
Howling
then.
Banshees are the worst looking of aspect warriors.
Yeah, we've heard you. We've heard your
Striking Scorpions, Nick.
Oh man, just finished swapping arms for WYSIWYG troops for ACO. That sounds like horrible, and I would not do that.
For Harlequins?
Yeah, I would just have the wrong weapons. And
Well,
no one
that's
knows.
what you do have.
That's what happens. I have whatever I need them to have. Sealer, have you made any revisions to your Talus that you took in the house RTT, or have you gone back to the drawing board?
I have, in fact, in the War Room. We played a game, Nick and I, the other week, where he was playing Harlequins and Drukari into my Tau. I increased the number of Remoras that I had. I went back up to 9 Crisis models, and I added a second commander in there. Dropped the Viorla stuff and just went pure Farsight Enclaves, so I can keep those 2 extra CP. And the list performed really well. Honestly, the Remoras were absolute MVPs, winning me the game in the end.
The Remoras.
I liked them a lot.
Do you want to tell them about what happened to the Remoras?
They won me the game in combat by killing a Shadow Seer. They shot her down to 1 wound and then killed her in combat, hitting on 5s.
Killed my shadows.
It was 1 wound, Nick had no CP.
Combat. Killing my while we stand.
But it made me want to upgrade the Flame Commander with Drone Controller to a Cold Star if I increased the Remora, so I could also fly him back there 40 inches away.
So just to be clear, killing my Shadow Seer in combat wasn't enough for you. You want more.
I want more.
Okay.
But yeah, I really like Remora a lot. I need to keep messing with the list, because if I go up to 3-man squads, it's 180 points, which means one of the commanders is no longer while we stand. So I have to either make that an expensive Cold Star or do 3 2-man units. But that costs extra CP to get another detachment. So, but I'm sold on the Remoras being awesome.
Remoras RB awesome. Dark Yeller's toughest matchup. It's tough to say. I think Admech can really give them a run for their money. I think Chaos. I've lost twice. Both times have been to Chaos. So definitely there's something up there that's not clicking. Grey Knights, I think, are interestingly tough. Zisters can actually just beat them in a fair fight, so that's cool. What do you think, Siegs?
Yeah, I would agree that those are probably the 5 hardest. But also 9 Remora Tau.
9
That's tough
Remora
stuff.
Tau.
That's tough stuff, Nick.
Do you want to play the Tower of Dark Elder?
Yeah.
All right, we'll get it in. We'll get it on the schedule. The schedule. 9 Remoras coming in hot. Plasmancer Mortals were the superstar of my GT list this weekend. Plasmancers! Gotta love the Plasmancers.
You've run the Plasmancer.
You can view all of our lists on the Art of War 40k website. We are actually looking at creating a much better filing system for all these lists, so stay tuned on that. Also, we're running a survey right now, which you can find everywhere. I will find a link for you and post it in this chat. So if you have suggestions, now is the time to give them to us. Aha! Let's put the survey in the chat. Look at me go, see, 'cause I'm linking stuff. I'm like a professional
Copy
chat
paste?
person.
You found out about copy paste?
I've mastered copy paste. It's got me through college.
Where is the little pilot?
Hardest Dark Eldar matchup is the mirror. That's probably true, actually. I'm terrified of the Dark Eldar mirror. I'm like, not because, like, I'll figure it out, but I am because
A lot of Eldar.
it's entirely figure it out, you know? Like, they can kill me the same way I can kill them. They're just as fast as me. Mirrors suck.
But then you have all these Dark Eldar players starting to look at adding in like Crackworld shooting.
That's just Sean.
That's Sean.
That's just Sean.
No, there's Matt in our chat, Matt Laura.
Matt?
Yeah, he has talked about that.
Oh, man. I think it's a good idea. It's a good counter to Dark Eldar stuff. Craftworld shooting blows up Dark Eldar tanks.
Especially if there's less Marines, it makes the Night Spinner a lot more
Yeah.
a lot more useful.
Night Spinners are terrifying for Dark Eldar. I've been saying this. If you have good indirect fire, like, it's the time to bring it out. And, like, Eldar do have great indirect fire. Just not against Space Marines.
Yep. When it's AP0, it's not awesome in Space Marine, but everything else.
I have a question, Mr. Siegs.
Yes.
I must inquire about your services to find the color deep blue.
Deep blue.
Yes.
What? How deep is this blue?
It's like a dark blue. It's darker than this. It's the color that is darker than this
Let's
blue.
see if I can find it from the other side.
This is why you have to have a Siegs. He's got these eyeballs with X-ray vision. He can see through stuff.
Oh my god, how good am I?
What am I saying? Like, you
Literal
can't
god.
make this up. He's literally a robot.
Literal god.
Robot god, perhaps. God of robots. An Omnissiah. I'll concede the Omnissiah.
The Omnissiah's exaltations flow upon me.
Sure. That's not strange.
Just don't question the Omnissiah.
Oh, don't question the Omnissiah. What about the not Omnissiahs, the regular Siahs?
Only the Omnissiah.
Okay.
Omni.
Omnissiah. 2 mana cores of pull payload, yeah. Payload mana, even like a not payload mana core, just Manticores are great against Dark Eldar. D3 damage is still good.
But you really want the full payload.
I mean, take 2 of those, but I'm saying you should just run 3.
3 mana cores?
3 Manticores. In this Dark Eldar meta, I think that's what you want to do. I don't know. It would have been nice to be able to shoot a D3 damage mana core with those acolytes instead of the 3 damage mana core with those acolytes. That's what I take.
What if you put 2 special weapon squads wholly behind your ruin so they only have 1 target?
That's what I'm saying. You can't trust the guardsmen to get anything done, so you're really just trusting the guardsmen in the tanks.
Gotta trust that positioning.
You can't trust your positioning. You can just screw that up. If you screw up your positioning, your guns can't fix it for you. That's what I'm saying. Take guns that can. Indirect fire doesn't care if you're bad at movement. Sit behind the wall, never move again. Plug and play, baby. Plug and play.
I think this is the good old days of the Scorpius tank. The Space Marine 1.
Triple Scorpius tank.
Triple Scorpius.
Triple Scorpius, triple Thunderfire.
Imperial Fist, baby.
Just roll dice. Your opponent takes off their models. It's awesome. Fly across the world to do that. I love you, Manny. All right, Mr. Siegs. What do you want to know about? I've been doing a lot of research on the universe lately.
Well, I want to hear what chat wants to think. Because like, this is
okay.
If you want to hear Nick's expertise on pretty much anything in the world,
It's true.
Go ahead and
This is
super chat.
the
Super chat
time
and
to
find
get
out.
it done.
super chat and find out.
To give you guys some examples, I've been watching a lot of nature things lately. I've been in a nature kick, so I've been well versed in nature.
In nature.
In nature, a lot of
Not about it, but in.
I have a lot of knowledge about the general universe since I am me. So anything like that is fair game. Yeah. I'm also interested. I'm writing a new thesis paper. It's on the psychology of robots. Steegs is the test subject. He does not know. All right. Oh, I have my glasses. I should put them on. Well, I cleaned them and then I forgot to. Because they're. Stop.
He's a professional.
I'm a professional. What are your thoughts on Triple Satan, Steegs?
I think they ought to lose to AdMech, and you don't want that bad matchup. They're also not great into Jukari simply because they have transports everywhere, and Sky of Falling Stars does not appreciate transports.
No,
and that's by far the best one. But I think out of all the matchups, the AdMech bomber list, you basically have zero play. They'll kill the Catan whenever they feel like it because they can do mortals in 4 or 5 different phases. So, not to mention explosions, auto-exploding.
Yeah,
So,
I think 3 Catans is way too deep down the rabbit hole. Maybe, I think 1, honestly, has been the sweet spot I found, but 2 is not bad. I think 1 is the right spot. 1 Nightbringer, and I'm satisfied.
why is he 370 points?
I don't know, that's a great question.
Please.
That's
why,
pretty bad.
why did he have to go up 20 points?
Man, no one wants to know about my thoughts on the universe. That's okay. Do you think power creep is getting out of hand? I feel like power creep is, in addition to lack of balancing FAQs, are really bad for the game's health. I would like them to do more FAQs. They were pretty good about it for a while, and now they're not again. I don't know why.
I think it has to do with just that the addition is so early and they're not really valuing a lot of the events that are happening.
But they're definitely trying not to knee-jerk. Because remember, if you nerf the Dark Eldar Codex now, unless you're very active about unnerfing them later or buffing them, which they're not very active about, and they know that, that's kind of where they're going to sit for a while. So once you nerf stuff, you don't want to... It's almost like it's hard to press the undo button.
I would like small patch notes, like small but active patch notes, little changes.
Lots of little changes I think would be much better for the game's health, but they're also much harder to just do from a implementation standpoint.
Well, it's the thing is they're like 6 months ahead in rules, probably even more than that. They're not totally focused on the current meta. There needs to be like a small group of them that works on the current meta.
Agreed. So that's a thing. I think that's the problem with it, is their team's not large enough for building future 40k and balancing current 40k. I don't know, though. I am not involved. But I've been playing 40k for 17 years. As far as the health of the game goes, this is a small bump in the road. They've had some broken stuff. This is really register on my scale. John's own tier and less beats his Dark Eldar one. That is what they say on the street. Although John and I did test that matchup, and it was really bad for the Nids. But John made mistakes in that game because it was one of the first games he played with the Dark Eldar, so John didn't really know how to approach it. I think if we play it again, it'd be much closer. The real trick to that one is that he deep struck his Devil Gaunts. They should just be on the board blasting you.
Yeah,
Anything
you
that falls
can't
out.
afford not to have that.
Yeah.
Because you can double move them and everything.
Yeah, no,
you can get them in position where you
they
want.
shoot. They can advance and shoot. They got no problems. They're cracking. Maybe they're Chronos. I really don't know. They could be whatever John wants them to be. I'm planning on trying my hand at Bloody Rose History 20 Zephyr. When do you do exploding sixes? When do you do +1 hands in charge? I pretty much do exploding sixes unless I'm playing Chaos. Then I look at +3 to deny. And I take +1 advance in charge when I decided I can't kill them. There's not many armies I've decided I can't kill, but it's pretty much like Dark Angels, some Custodes builds.
You've taken against my Tau twice.
I will also take it if I think I'm so good at killing them that exploding sixes doesn't matter. That's the other thing. Like
Which is MSU.
if it's like guard, I don't need exploding sixes to kill guardsmen. 2-man drone units in Tau, I don't need exploding sixes for that. So at that point, movement is more important. But this is just my take on it. It's not necessarily the right one. Bill Gross just super chat us $5. Thanks so much, Bill. Please discuss animals and wildlife finally returning to Chernobyl. Why is this occurring? Will animals thrive in this environment? Bill, interesting. I have studied animals and Chernobyl greatly in depth via the internet.
HBO.
And so I think it's a lot of different things going at once. A lot of factors. So we are killing our environment, as any millennial will tell you, and that's bad.
What about scientists?
And scientists too, but they don't know what they're talking about. So listen to the millennials though. So we're killing our environment, and that means the animals are dying faster and becoming homeless faster. And no one likes being homeless. So the animals are migrating, as they do, the Great Migration. So they're like the geese, and they're flying down the south the winter. The animals are flying away from the tractors and into the places without tractors. And humans are like, well, we already blew up Chernobyl. We're not going to go over there for the next lots of years. So the animals are like, hey, there's no tractors over here. There's some plants covering up the building, so I guess that's safe. So the animals are like wandering over to Chernobyl, and they probably don't even know it's radioactive. They're animals. No one tells them. They don't have the internet. That's one of our perks. We got thumbs and the internet. So the animals are like just eating the grass that's like toxic and like breathing the air that's going to kill them and give them animal cancer and stuff. And they don't know, but that's what's happening. And it's because we're forcing them there because we got to cut down the trees. Science.
Nick has a PhD in nonsense, to be clear.
All right. I thought that was pretty good.
The tractors?
The tractors are symbolic of the man. The tractors are symbolic of our greed, the government, our thirst for power, crushing down all of the nature, the millions of years of forestation and wildlife that has been built on carefully calibrated ecosystems through nature is being destroyed because we want a mini mall or something. And that sucks because now the animals are going to go get cancer from the Chernobyl, which we also created. I'm just saying, we suck. Went 3-2 on my first GT yesterday with the Silent King Novak build. Thanks for all the help. How can I beat this list that outshoot me? This is Clown Mode. What's going on, Clown Mode? Thank you for that super chat. Siegs, what do you do when your Silent King Novak build gets outshot?
You gotta tie him up in combat as much as possible. Go for wrapping plays, multiple wraps with the big 20 warrior bricks. Use terrain to your advantage, cover to reduce the efficiency coming in. And then you need to use plays like combining Native Resurrection with the Res Orb and Ghost Arc abilities to bring models back close to them so that then you're making charge moves. Classic game, if you go back on our channel, Necrons vs. Admech, John shot a warrior unit down to like 6 or so models, and then I brought back most of them and then brought him right back into his kind of towards his deployment zone, was able to charge his Scorpius tanks and tie him up for a little while. Then I tied up his other flank with the Silent King and the Ghost Arc. So you need to tie things up, and a lot of things in the game can't fall back and shoot anymore. So force them to only shoot at one thing.
You ready for this big brain answer we got for Saber 126's question? He's asking, succubuses are like super awesome, right? So how many points is fair for them? And he was suggesting double is still like an auto do because they're just that freaking good at killing stuff. And honestly, they are. They kill pretty much whatever they touch. But value in this case is relative because that's what they do. They kill whatever they touch. What they touch is contingent on what there is to touch, what there is to kill. So in a meta where there's like Golemons and Trajans and Space Marines and all kinds of good stuff to just be like killing with your 60-point succubus, yeah, I'll pay 130 points to kill Golemon. I'll pay 180 points to kill Golemon, like one shot, no questions asked, sure. If I think that's going to be a problem, I'm going to have to do a lot. And if it's not, like if everyone lowers their threat profile, which is something I talked about in the war room on my How to Beat Drukhari clinic I did last week, then, my 60-point or theoretically 130-point or whatever point succubus, if she's got the best thing she can trade into is like 10 guardsmen, it doesn't matter that she can kill 50 guardsmen. She's only killing 10. So, and a great example is my game against Mr. Siegs and my game against John in the Streamhouse RTT finals and semifinals. She didn't do anything in either game. Siegs and John respected her, and there's definitely a value to them playing differently because of her existence, and definitely changing the list for her existence. But that's 40k. You change stuff to fight other stuff. So, against John with the Custody strat, she can't kill a Dreadnought. She can't even kill Trajan. She can't do any of that stuff. So the best she was going to get is wait for John to spend all his CP, which he just wouldn't do, or kill 10 guardsmen. That's what she did. She went off and killed 10 guardsmen. And against Siegs just didn't go near me for a while, which maybe the best idea, maybe not the best idea, but he didn't, and she just didn't attack. So If there is nothing worth her hitting, she's still just wasted points, is my point. So lower your threat profiles. Don't give...
She killed one Iron Strider.
Yeah, like, Incubi hit way above their weight class. The Succubus punches way above her weight class. Rocket Fires, they killed Dreadnoughts for no friggin' reason. They're awesome. But if there are no things to hit that are above their weight class, if you just all fight in the same weight class, then they don't benefit from being able to punch above their weight class. Aren't I good at analogies? Walmart. What kind of orc build will pair against Drukhari? How is no one talking about my knowledge bomb about Chernobyl and animals? That was the good stuff. Unbelievable. 2 units of 10 tank bus does not need orc boys. Drukhari don't actually kill insane amount of models that well. Like, they can kill a lot of models really efficiently, but there's a critical mass they just run out of attacks for sure. Now, not if they just start taking like 20-man witch units. They'll kill everything you have. But
That's just...
it's ever-changing.
Yeah.
I am having a serious issue with turn 1 alpha strikes of 20 Rubric Marines murdering all my warriors. How do you guys deal with this as Necrons? Does it just kill all my warriors?
I have not played against 20 rubrics since like spring of last year when Nick was running that chaos list. Like, it is good, and they hit really hard, and if they pre-game move and then are count as stationary, they can do the double shooting as well. So they can put out a lot of...
Do you have any infiltrators in Necrons or no?
No.
No. Okay, I was just asking.
What you would need to do is you would need to probably take an Outrider detachment, Custom Dynasty, pre-game move, and the OBSEC, and take like 3-man units of Scarabs, some Crypto Thralls, whatever, and pre-game move them up so that they push back the rubrics a bit. Because just slightly. Otherwise, it's playing on more terrain, so the 20 rubrics can't be just in 9 inches from your deployment zone and shoot at anything. Because if there's a ruin in your deployment zone, they're not getting the angle there. If they move, they don't get to double shoot.
Yeah, you really got to play around the fact that if they move, they don't double shoot. So even if you don't have the pre-game moving Scarabs, use the depth of your deployment zone and ruins and stuff. You won't be safe, but maybe you can get them to move on turn 1, and it is so much less firepower.
Yeah, and once you get in a combo with them, they're awful.
Because it's no double shoot, and they ideally won't be in rapid fire range, so like get in rapid fire by using bolter drill, but if they're moving, they're not using bolter drill, so try to use that. Is the new sister battle model going to be like a Blade Guard Ancient? I have no idea, but thank you for the super chat, Kyle Norman. I think if you're talking about the Palatine?
No.
Oh.
There's a brand new character that was previewed today with a banner. I posted in our chat.
It could be a Blade Guard Ancient. It could also be in a Magifier.
Well, she seems to be a special named character carrying the special banner.
A named Magifier?
No, she's not a Magifier.
Oh, Corey's bringing 3 Hexmark Destroyers for Nick's Drukhari in Dallas. Oh, Corey, let's go! Hexmark Destroyer time!
What happened to the double Tesseract vault?
Triple Hexmark Destroyers.
He was talking
Triple
about
Hexmark Destroyers.
double Tesseract vault. It's... I want to see these vaults.
What would we be most hyped to see GW announce for their 2 days of 30k previews?
Warhammer Weekend's happening next week.
Oh, I'm really pumped for... I would love to see some Warhammer events. Games Workshop promised to run some events, and COVID got in the way, and hopefully that's kind of ending soon. So can we get some events? I'd be really pumped for events. Or Fate Weaver. Always can go for some Fate Weaver.
It's definitely not Fate Weaver.
You don't
Definitely
know.
not.
Like, you don't
100%.
know. There's things that it's likely, like it's not likely to be Fate Weaver, but it also could be Fate Weaver.
It's just not. Be'lakor is the new champion of chaos.
Let me get
Fate
my
Weaver's
phone.
done.
Richard, do you think the Mech Necromancer you played last week has play? Any changes you were thinking about?
It definitely has play. Marines just do it better. So, I think John's list is weak on playing the primary and has lack of speed. I don't think it actually is going to beat Drukhari, frankly. He said that at the end. He's like, you really need to go first to use the redeploy and just be on top of the opponent. Going second, that list suffers a lot more than Necrons do. I think Necrons play the mission better and can actually get 0-point primaries for Drukhari. Yeah. No, not Necrons. No.
Necrons.
Necrons get run over by Grey Knights. That's what That's what Necrons does.
Necrons is beautiful people.
But I think that Necron list actually can do very, very well in the mission against Drukhari.
I think we should have lavender hair, Seeks. Do you think lavender hair? I think lavender hair.
Isn't their armor purple?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I have a lot of different hair color squads, right? I have the teal squad, I have the orange squad, I got a blue squad. I could do like red.
Yeah, red works well on Harley.
But I just put purple on the paint palette.
Alright, fine. Alright. The purple armor with the purple hair.
It'll be a pinky armor and a lavender hair. It'll be different.
Okay.
Seeks has no fine refinement for the tastes. Actually, he made some really good chicken Indian thing last night. I was a big fan.
I'm a magnanimous person.
Magnanimous robot. Oh my god.
SAT words, Nick.
I took those. I think I did well on them. I remember. I like studied because my parents are brown and they made me. And I don't remember what I got at all.
Probably shouldn't say anyway. Anyway, the score system changed.
Did it?
Yeah.
Well, it was
I was
2400 when
the-
I took it.
Yeah, I was the last one on the old system.
Oh, okay.
I got an 1800.
I wasn't sure if it's changed again.
It might have changed again. I'm not keeping up with the SATs, frankly.
Yeah, I don't remember.
The purple.
You gotta have the purple.
You gotta have purple on purple. You can hardly tell.
You can hardly tell. It'll just look like it's painted. How do you feel about the Tesseract Arc Forge World Heavy Siegs?
It should be able to, the Singularity Cannon should be able to fire every profile for 200 points. It's at least 20 points overcosted, unfortunately. But all the Necron shooting is just overcosted for what it does. They didn't get upgraded weapon profiles, yet they are still very expensive compared to other anti-tank options. So I think they just overvalue quantum shielding.
You can't overvalue quantum shielding. Quantum shielding is actually quite good.
It is good, but I think they're paying way too many points for it. Like anti-tank weapons rolling threes. That's all it's stopping. And when your opponent doesn't roll threes like Nick, you just roll 4-ups on anti-tank weapons with his Retributors. No miracle dice needed.
One time!
Then it doesn't matter.
One time! Out of like 100 times! I've had that same Retributor and not kill a single Plasma Inceptor.
But not against me.
Not against you. Oh man, we got a $5 super chat from Shazzy Bear. Nick, the Ultra list you made for me is simply undefeated to see some Ultramarine content again soon. Wait, what? Is simply undefeated. It says, oh, those 2-man suppressors are great. Wait, you can't take 2-man suppressors. What have I done?
It might be 2 units.
2 units of suppressors?
Yeah.
So I do love the
But
Ultramarine
you
suppressors.
can't run 2-man suppressor. This isn't Tau.
I do love Ultramarine suppressors, though. For reals.
I think it's like one of the few places where you'd actually run suppressors.
We'll get some Ultramarines back on the channel. I was looking at some Iron Hands the other day. It's been like a solid year since I put an Iron Hands on the table. I think it's about time I bust out a character Dreadnought.
Yeah.
I like Dreadnoughts.
We have not played Iron Hands in a long while.
I mean, they deserve their time out, but I think they've served their punishment.
They got a very long time out. Where is it?
I will add this to the docket. My triumphant return to remains just in time for the Dark Eldar meta. What are you doing?
I'm cutting out all these Archaeoraptor pieces. They're all on different sprues.
Why?
Because Games Workshop decided that all the modern kits, the pieces should be everywhere instead of in a cluster.
I know. I complain about this every time, and you guys make fun of me.
I told you, the Silent King is probably one of the hardest models to build just because a single piece is on all 3 different sprues.
You see that cup right there? That cup I was drinking for a minute ago? This cup right here. This cup? It's a good looking cup. Okay. How do you feel for putting on the tiara for winning and not getting punished for it? Mr. Jake. It's a myth! It's just a myth. I put the tiara on before the tournament even started in one of my videos on like how I'm playing Dark Eldar. When I called my shot and said Dark Eldar are going to win this whole thing, the tiara was on my head. The tiara is not some magical element in nature which chooses who earns it. You earn the tiara by being a Banff. And you gotta own it. You gotta own it. You know who didn't own it? John. John was like, I can't beat Dark Eldar! Oh no! And then I owned him. Like a Banff. It was exactly like that. Right, Seeks?
Exactly. Couldn't have written it better.
Did you guys buy up all the Custodes Dreads on Forge World? I think John might have done that. That's what these things are.
Yep, John, he tried.
Went on to Forge World and said, buy all. That's a button. You know, now that I think about it, I think the purple on the pink might be too much purple.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I know you were saying that, but I do agree.
I cannot tell the difference.
Well, we're waiting for the paint to dry so I can wash it, and then we'll get to the next step.
Nick is always waiting for paint to dry.
That's what this paint stream's about. It's about the dry stream. We can't call it that because no one would come. 52 watching now. 41 minutes ago we started streaming. Look at that. Golden Globe Gaming. Art of War. Cool.
What's next up being shipped to us from Golden Globe Gaming? Our commission painting service.
Oh, the rest of my Dark Elder. Look at those slits! Look at those slits right there! Oh my god. Beautiful creatures. So all those Rex, they're coming in. Witches, warriors, incubi, the character, entourage. We're going to get this army together. Then we're going to take it to Dallas GT. We are going to destroy everybody. That's what's going to happen, Mr. Zeeks. We're going to call our shot again. Maybe not. Maybe not.
Bold.
I gotta play one more game before I can call my shot. I must play one more.
What's that game?
I want to try my hand at my Dark Eldar against Sean's weird Eldar Dark Eldar collaboration because I have very little experience against the Sean Jink since moving to Florida. I used to play Sean fairly regularly. I was pretty good about the Sean Jink, but you know, I'm out of touch with the Sean Jink, so I'm gonna put that on the board. I'll probably end up playing the Sean Jink because like no one else here is gonna play that. And then I'll make John play my Dark Eldar list into me, and we'll see what we can come up with. Maybe we'll do that as a War Room bonus. Perhaps. If you guys are in the War Room and you'd like to see that, you know, better idea. If we get 5 new War Room members between now and Wednesday morning, Tuesday night, if we get 5 new War Room members, doesn't mean if they're from the paint stream or anything, but if we get 5, you could be one of them. We will play that game on stream and do it as a whole coaching thing for you guys. So
Sean Names list versus your list?
Sean Names list
Dallas
versus my list, discussion-based theory, what I could be doing playing Sean's list, what John could be doing playing my list. How does it all come together? Because John's also been playing the Dark Eldar at Dallas. I think he and I are planning to run. He's planning on running the exact same list I am. My list changes every day, so.
Nick's gonna change it last minute.
Like, I don't know what John's plan is. Like, you just gonna follow me? Like, I'm not trying to hide this from John, but I just do stuff. You can never trust the Whipstorm. Well, you can always count the Whipstorm.
The night before Nick went to the Clutch City GT, he told us he was gonna drop the Foul Blight spawn from his Death Guard list. You're like, what is even going on?
They talked me off the deep end for
What
that
the
one.
hell?
That's for sure. I don't think I need this guy. He's not even good.
But you were gonna keep the Plague Surgeon, not the Plague Surgeon.
The Plague Surgeon.
The Noxious Blightbringer.
He's already been gone.
Now, who'd you have? Or the
Biologist
Biologist You were gonna keep
Putrifier.
him. And
That's
he's
what it was.
pointless.
He is pointless. Corey, welcome to Art of War. Thank you for being a member. Robocon, thank you for being a member. Appreciate you guys. Just to clarify, I do really appreciate your membership and your subscriptions. I meant War Room member for the this contest, this deal. I typed !! War Room. I have no idea if that works here. Seeks, does that work here?
It should still work, but
I'll get the link just in case.
the YouTube one is Finneker.
It's Finneker.
Finneker.
Finneker. Are you?
No, I'm just using it.
Are you marking right now?
I was trying to.
Think.
Finicky.
Oh, it did work. It just took like 5 minutes. Well, that's okay. Stream Elements, ahoy! So yeah, go ahead and sign up for the War Room, and you can sign up for the War Room podcast combo instead. I will accept that as a valid member. Corey, that is not the War Room. I thought you are a member of the War Room. I could be wrong. I'm sorry if that was misleading in any way. You've just become a YouTube member. I don't know why it's so complicated with all these memberships. The YouTube membership, it's nice. Join our community. You get to access some early videos, and you get to watch the paint streams in rewind if you want to watch it after the fact that it's live. But War Room members, you get all the good stuff. You get coaching classes, and you get Meta Mondays. There's going to be a Meta Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time today, where Brad's going to talk about his recent GT win with the Dark Eldar. You get all these clinics, you get coaching games. You're going to get me and John doing this other bonus coaching game. All that jazz. Is it just me, or the Necron Immortal surprisingly annoying to assemble? Got 10 out of 20 done last night. I think a lot of things in this game are surprisingly annoying to assemble, personally.
You know what's very annoying to assemble? The flayed ones.
Why?
They have 1,000 little pieces.
Their hands still go like this. They're like really long fingers doing this.
Yeah. Exactly like that.
Good.
They are not. The new ones are not easy to build.
Is this plane number 4?
Yeah, this is plane number 4.
When we're getting all 6 of them in here.
When Warpfire gets 2 more in stock.
Okay, so hopefully soon.
I don't know when they'll get them done.
Not counting my breath, but hopefully soon. It's Games Workshop. I would really like them to. I appreciate you, Corey, signing up for the War Room.
Well, you also get the membership, the Samurai badges, and you get all the cool emotes.
That's for being a YouTube member.
Yep.
Yeah, Corey's joining the War Room in here. Good stuff. That's where all the good stuff is. How did the quantum shielding game go, or was it covered previously? It happened last week. We covered it a lot in the War Room since that's where it happened. But basically, Siegs, you played it. Why don't you talk about it?
I got super unlucky. Rolling 6 ones when my Necron Warrior unit
We
disembarked.
don't like to blame dice, but that did happen.
That happened, and then the explosions. 6 vehicles exploded.
6 vehicles
Yeah,
exploded? Oh
4 of
my
mine,
God.
2 of John's, and I took 1,000 mortal wounds. So it was an atypical game, but I barely lost that game, even with all that happening.
Oh, really? It looked
Yeah.
like you were getting destroyed. Was the points were in your favor?
Yeah, I mean, I gave John a bunch of 5s
That'll do.
when I was getting 10s.
Yeah. Seegosaurus in this
Yeah,
tens.
and then the turn that I popped out, I killed 2 intercessors. It was crazy.
Is War Room VODs or is it live content? It's both, Jake. You can watch it live and ask questions live and have your questions answered live. Alternatively, you can ask your questions ahead of time on our Facebook group for the War Room. Get them answered in the videos and rewatch it at your leisure. You can watch the same video 63 times.
Exactly.
Exactly 63. Not 64, though. You can watch it 64. I'm lying to you. No one's going to stop you. Live your life. Live your dreams. Live your life in your dreams, Siegs.
Watch me beat Nick with Tau in the War Room. That's really good stuff.
Watch Siegs lie to himself about what he's going to do in the War Room.
I already done.
You did do it.
I did do it.
It didn't feel like a loss, but it was a loss.
It was lost.
So hear me out. Drazar, Archon, 3 units of 5 Caplites, 3 units of 5 Incubi, and a patrol with Farseer, 10 Spectres, 2 Hornets, 2 Lynxes. I feel like Incubi without Advance and Charge are substantially worse. And Drazar.
That's what Sean's running though.
I
He's just using his counter assault.
Yeah, it works better there. And that's where it would work in the Lynxes and Hornets. So same idea. It's not bad. Good firepower there. I think I really like Night Spinners right now. Honestly, Matt, that's a good list. What am I talking?
Is this Matt Laura?
Yeah.
Yeah. This
This is a good list. I think I would still like Night Spinners in there. But that's a good list. I'm talking about in my butt. Seek said in the previous stream he hints he can take the 60 Warrior Silent King Novak list into Nyx, Drukhari. Most people have zero faith in Krons in that matchup. Could you break down why you're confident? Is that true, Seeks?
Yeah, with the move blocking Ghost Arcs.
Let's do it. Let's get that going.
Let's do it.
All right, we're gonna play that game for you. I actually agree with Seeks. I think people are sleeping on Necrons being an answer to Dark Eldar because it's not the easiest thing for me in the world to pick up 20 warriors in one instance. I actually kind of suck at it. Ten of
Well,
Witches
it's,
might do
it's
it.
just because the nature of the Drukhari list that we're seeing are much more MSU, because that's how they play the mission so well.
Exactly.
But that doesn't help against Necrons.
Exactly. So because I can't burst my damage all into one big instance and it's all just like these units that punch above their weight class, Siegs is doing the approach of being too cumbersome to attack, which can work for Necrons in their weird, unique way.
Mm-hmm. So when you saw it against John, he struggled to kill 10-man warrior units with a bunch of Redemptors and Victors.
Definitely. No, I
He
think...
like couldn't finish 10-man warriors, no invul, no nothing. And I was like, I need to get back to this.
Yeah.
I need to get back to my 20 warriors.
Siegs, his little robot adventures. He forgot where his soul was. Then he remembered it was in the warrior.
Warriors are still really good. They're the best part of the Necron Codex.
Hey Nick, are there any Jakar units you really like but which aren't competitive? Scourges? And you'll see people running Scourges. I just think they kind of suck. They're not like so terrible because they're relatively cheap. Like you can take Scourges and still have an awesome list that just has Scourges. But I never like look at Scourges and I'm like those are points spent effectively. I don't really care for Scourges. Like,
What about the Claude Fiend?
the Claude Fiend is awesome. The Claude Fiend is great. I want to get Claude Fiends on this channel. People are sleeping on the Claude Fiends. They're like my new listener goals.
Should I call up Warpfire?
I'm not spending $200 on Claude Fiends, but we can get Claude Fiends stat on our channel. I'll use like Demon Fiends. They have claws. Especially Inari Claude Fiends. Now we're going to true crazy land. I do actually think that's good.
Mark Perry?
Mark's onto something with this stuff.
Mark just wants to put Yanari stuff on.
For every 10 Mark ideas, something is born. Something. Thoughts on where Black Templars Crusader squads fit in with meta power tier? Attack squad with smokescreen seems good at holding it. I think Crusader squads are amazing. Take 6 of them. I don't know why Jack isn't taking 6 of them. It's because he's playing Sisters now. Stupid meta hopping dweeb. But no, yeah, Black Templar Crusader squads are amazing. They're exactly what I'm talking about when I'm saying lower your threat profile. I mean, they're 75 points for 5 Space Marines. That is a great bargain. Do that as many times as you feel like doing that. Warriors better than Chronomancers and Obsec, Scarab, Siegs. Are you sure?
Yes.
Sieg says yes.
Warriors.
Stone cold faced yes right there. Just yes.
It's because they benefit the most from reanimations.
The Warriors can't get tropical.
They can't get tropical, but I get tropical against John. Gets real tropical.
You got
against
tropical against John?
him. Many times.
Good.
I killed Dante with the tropical hands. Dante got tropical. He was sent off to Hawaii. Never to be seen again.
Retirement. Do you guys ever use third-party bits, and have you ever seen an issue for an event? I have used third-party bits. I know John has a lot of third-party bits on his Space Marines. For the most part, they're awesome.
Third party?
There's just like...
No, he has He has Forge World bits.
No, like his Samurai Terminators?
Yeah, that's...
That's Forge World?
Yeah.
And his Scouts that are just like a different model?
No, those are from Necromunda.
Oh. Well, John uses...
It's not third party. He uses Games Workshop bits.
People use third-party bits. It's
Yeah.
not really frowned upon or anything. If you go to a Games Workshop specific event, which maybe in Europe and the UK specifically there are more of, in the US there aren't really too many of. If you're going to a Games Workshop specific event, they might have Stink Eye. They might say something to you.
Stink Eye.
I don't know. Don't know the protocols, but pretty sure they're pretty big about you should use Games Workshop stuff from
Yeah.
what I'm
Or if
seeing.
you want to be on the GW stream when the big events happen.
Definitely. But, not everyone's trying to be on stream, so... Unless you're trying to be on the finals of LVO, you should have a choice in the matter. But I think there is a rule, like you can't play in top 8 unless you have a Games Workshop army.
They came around and asked both times, Nova LVO.
But, like, you can go to LVO and play. You'd have to figure something out for top 8. And that's only at LVO. Like, any normal, not LVO size event, or Nova or something like that.
Yeah, your random GT.
Your random GT, no one's going to care. Let's see. If I attend an event and my army's paint scheme is mentioned out to me as I'm currently changing it, would be considered battle ready. Should be, no problem, El Kakui. You can always ask the TO. Most of them are pretty lenient about that kind of stuff, but never hurts to ask. I don't think anyone would frown upon like a mid-paint scheme transition type thing. It's really more about the amount of effort you're putting into your models. Like if half your army looks awesome, half your army is like getting there, no one's gonna complain.
Or if you get plastic toys and stuff. And it's not
Yeah,
actual
if you're
conversion.
trying to do your army like real cheap and just to get it on the table for the sake of playing the most broken thing, that's when people are going to be upset. I just signed up for the War Room. Do I get notifications when a live video goes live or anything like that? Corey, we are working on getting notifications sent to you via the app. I think you will get an email if you subscribe. But you'll also, if you go to the website, it has a nice We Are Live Right Now button, so just keep website.
But also, if you click on the schedule, it also lists all the videos.
That's true.
essentially. And then every week we put out the schedule, which has all the things that we're going to be hosting that week.
Yep. And even if you miss a live, it's no big deal. You can watch any of it. So
Yep.
right now...
And you can keep asking questions.
Yep. If you go to our Facebook page or our Twitter or anything like that, there should be our schedule posted to it for the week. So you can find our schedule that has all our streams.
In that post, you can ask any questions that you want in advance. Just title it whether it's whichever clinic or our Meta Monday that you're trying to ask questions for.
And that's in the Facebook group for the private War Room members. So if
Because not everybody can catch them live.
yeah, just make sure you get yourself in that Facebook group. So, John or I will have to approve you. No problem.
Or myself.
Or Siegs.
Go ahead and put a request in there and I'll approve you.
All right. Devourgons seem amazingly efficient. 3 BS4, strength 4 shots for 7 points is insane. Is there a reason we are seeing them spammed? They're really good for their like offense per point is pretty good, but they don't kill everything. Like your strength 4 and no AP and 1 damage. Like you can be as effective as you want at killing chaff, but at the end of the day, this is not a points efficient way of killing like a 2-up armor safe Space Marine. So there are very much problems that the Devourgaunt runs into head first. So it's not just like this is a profile that's good against everything, let's let me spam it. It's a good profile for the cost, but if you spam it, you will just run into hard problems.
You need other tools.
You need other tools. So that's why you don't just see like here's my 100 Devourgaunts the list. It's also 18 inches. So like typically once the unit shoots, it's in like going to get killed range, so you don't want to make your army based out of that.
Especially if there's a Hexmark Destroyer hanging around.
Hexmark Destroyers are known to kill all the Termagants. Hello there. I thought that at your matches could be some stats, like how many times Siegs won with Army X and how many times Nick won on versus Player Y. We've actually thought about getting stats like that together. Those are cumbersome statistics to try to backlog and track, and also I'm not sure it creates the kind of work environment we want to foster at Art of War. Although a little friendly competition is never a bad thing, and stats are fun to play with. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm open to it. I'm not sure it's worth the time investment to get these stats, but I'm open to being convinced otherwise. How many drop dice does Nick have? That's a good one. That's a great stat counter.
That's a lot of videos to rewatch.
How many drop dice does Siegs have? I bet it's more.
Bet it's not.
I think it's more. You guys know about the 60-year Aquifer hotness in Dark Elf? Of course we know about the 60-year Aquifer hotness. We write the 60-year Aquifer hotness. I don't think it's actually that great. I mean, it's very much like the Devourgaunt thing. A bit better of a profile to spam than the Devourgaunt for sure. AP -2 and 2 damage and +1 to wound. And auto hitting is really good. But there are still things where Aquifers do actually suck against. They don't ignore cover.
Yep, we found that out.
So,
You just don't kill.
2-up saves in cover, 1-up saves. Some things get 0-up saves, and a million racks in the world don't do anything to 0-up saves. Deathwing Terminators, you're just not going to kill Deathwing Terminators ever efficiently. You also have to get within 12 inches to shoot racks, which typically isn't a problem. You honestly kind of want to be that close anyway, but sometimes you don't. I just prefer having tools because you don't want to run to the specific counters. But it's you're skewing your army. You're going to be way better than mine or a more balanced version at certain things because things that are vulnerable to liquefiers will literally just melt. So, do you want higher highs and lower lows, or do you want a more flat curved line? Where do you guys get those 3D third-party Slith models? I don't know. Our wonderful sponsor, Golden Globe Gaming, hooked us up with them. I was like, called them up on the phone. I was like, yo, doggy, this is my issue. And he was like, what up? I got you. And then I was like, I need these snake people. I got no snake people. Give me a snake people. And he's like, man, I got the snakes. And then we have sliths and Urgles. It's beautiful. It was exactly like that, right, Mr. Siegs?
Nothing like that. Not a single thing like that.
Well, he did hook us up, though. So
Hooked us up. That was the only,
Golden Globe
only part.
I think it was a lot like that. What makes Night Spinners good in this meta? It's because they're indirect fire. And Dark Eldar are actually made of tissue paper when they're not hiding behind walls. It's hard to shoot Dark Eldar because they typically are hiding behind walls. They're so fast and they're on top of units too late. But indirect fire takes the walls away from them. And they're like good at killing raiders specifically. Strength 7 versus toughness 6. No AP into a 4-up armor save. High volume of shots. This is great. 2 damage each. So they're just really good at blowing up raiders. And that's pretty important in today's day and age. Necronless versus the big bad Magnus Sons Mortarion. How do you play this matchup as Necrons versus this matchup every week? And it's horrible.
Against Magnus?
Magnus and Morty.
Magnus and Morty?
Yeah.
Are you running Silent King?
I don't know. He's just playing Necrons.
I mean, honestly, they put a ton of points into 2 models that don't kill 20 Necron warriors. So stand on the objectives and obsec them away. Whatever they have outside of Magnus and Morty, kill that crap and let them suffer against the warriors.
It is a lot of mortals, though, that warriors don't get reanimation for.
Well, that's what you have the Scarabs for. Scarabs up front.
Scarabs
They soak the mortals for ages. They also don't die to Magnus and Morty that easily. And then you have the warriors behind.
If you're an Art of War fan or member, can you join events under the Art of War team name? Alex, well, nothing is stopping you from putting Art of War as your team name on events. We try to create some sort of separation there by listing our team on our website and being somewhat formal about it, because I don't want Joe Schmo off the street walking into a tournament and listing Art of War as his team name and then being a jerk, representing us really poorly and cheating. That's exactly what I don't want. So I would love for ITC to create some sort of parameters stopping Joe Schmo from just listing Art of War. In theory, he can, but I will not formally recognize you as part of the team unless we've talked about it personally. So if you're interested in being part of the team, I'm not totally against it or anything, but we need to, that's something more serious than let me just put it on my ITC name. Drakari won first and second at Renegade Spring of 50 players. Thoughts? I think Drakari are awesome. This does not surprise me. They've won like 1 million events this weekend. And I'm painting a Harlequin, who's still drying. I put another wash on it.
Yeah, I saw that. Got to wash some.
If you're not washing, you're not even painting. At the end of the stream, can Nick show us his progress on the Harlequin? Absolutely, absolutely. I would be happy to show you my progress on this Harlequin. I think that'd be a great idea.
Does it look any different?
It looks substantially different.
Does it?
I have a whole bucket of Harlequins here, so I will show you what a before and after looked like of this Harlequin. What times? It's 2? I think I'll start a second Harlequin. Maybe this one right here. This one's got a lot going on. She's got some personality to her. So
Go ahead and show the chat the basic Harlequin here.
This is what I'm working with as my starting point. Can you see this? This is my starting point. I'll show you the end results. They're worth waiting for. Siegs doesn't have an appreciation for the arts of patience.
I'm almost done building an Archaeoraptor before you're done putting a shade on a Harlequin.
I'm reading the chat. You yourself say this is a full-time job. Blah, 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 blah. Just like that.
Quick chat. Everybody distract Nick with questions.
No. Gentlemen, do you play 25,000 points or do I just add Meticulous to the... what? Do you play 2,500 points at all? If so, do I just add to Meticulous or start over? We don't really play 2,500 points ever. We pretty much only play the standard. When I write lists for those larger or smaller point values, I don't just take my 2,000 point list and add to it typically. I do just start over because I think a list needs to be designed with an overall strategy. And the strategies you want to be employing at those larger point values are probably different than the strategies you want to be employing at these smaller ones. That said, that would assume that there is kind of a defined meta for the 2,500 point land. And there isn't, to my knowledge, because who plays that format? But... I'm not privy to everything. I'm really just a tournament guy, so maybe there is. Like, if you constantly play your buddy with, 3 Shadow Swords and, a bunch of Imperial Guard infantry, because that fits at 2,500 points, that's a different set of problems that you have to face than in 2,000 points.
Yeah, there's lists that just aren't possible.
Yeah.
At 2,000 points, they're possible now at 2,500.
Right, so I would approach it with that as the mindset.
Especially soup lists.
Especially soup lists, yeah. Also, you get more command points at 2,500 and stuff.
I think it's 3,000 where you get the extra
okay.
points. It's the onslaught.
The onslaught.
But yeah, you start with 18 command points at 3,000.
Did some quick math on Devour Termagant. So Termagant, you're paying 21 points per wound versus Space Marine, 42 points per wound versus Toughness 4, 2 up save. Exactly, Jake Harris, and that is why shooting Termagants into Terminators sucks terribly. Do you think it's a good time to run a list focusing on counting Drukhari, or are they tier 0 and there's no point? No, not at all. Drukhari have very specific things they do. They are fast. They hit really hard. They're made of paper. That's workable. You can't beat Drukhari without drastically changing what you do. But you can drastically change what you do. For every person who drastically changed from whatever faction they were playing to Drukhari, that's quite a drastic change. It's not crazy to drastically change your tactics to account for that. A lot of drasticness here. But I think it's warranted. Just wondered what the protocol was. If so, I see Art of War on a team name. We'll check your roster to make sure it's a real number. Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Alex. You gotcha. Last stream, it was alleged that you sleep in a bunk bed. Can you confirm the allegations? I dropped all of it.
Nick's doing his Inspector Clouseau routine here.
No, but confirmed I do not sleep in a bunk bed. Siegs and John are full of lies and misconceptions and deceits, not to be trusted. I will say, however, I just got some new bed sheets, and they are very tantalizing.
Tantalizing?
Tantalizing.
There's a Tantalus in there?
There's a Tantalus in there. Big fan of the bed sheets. New comforter, got a new comforter, new pillow sheets. I got a whole spread. I got more stuff than I know. I got 6 pillows now. What do I do with 6 pillows?
Nick confirmed Drukhari slave.
I feel like this is somehow what Bed Bath & Beyond stays in business doing, and I've just now become privy to it. Beds. There's a whole market for beds.
Beyond. They also do Beyond.
They do Beyond. They do Beyond the beds.
Don't underestimate
Beyond the bath. Candles. On the Hive Guard, they're less than half as efficient. At 30 points per wound, Space Marines not even factoring the occasional wasted multiple wounds to finish off an already wounded Marine. Jake, you're not thinking in terms of how the game plays. This is a bit more real than the math aspect to it, I find. But the Gaunt, sure, points per damage, the Gaunt makes more sense than the Hive Guard, I gotcha. The Gaunt's going to shoot exactly one time in a Space Marine game. Exactly once. So the Hive Guard will shoot 5 times. So for every 42 points you put in the Hive Guard, it shoots 10 shots. And you could spend 2 CP to fire twice, so in theory... Well, we'll leave that out, because then we're factoring a lot of different cost points and CP. It's just very complicated. But 10 shots for 5 turns worth of shooting, or the same 42 points as 6 Devour Guns, 18 shots for 1 turn worth of shooting. So tell me, 10 shots versus 18 shots, 10 shots spread through 5 turns versus 18 shots bursted at once. Which one is better at killing Marines? If the answer is still the Gaunts, then we're going to take more Gaunts.
More gods.
More Gaunts. It would be a good idea for the ITC to limit what teams you can enter. You don't want people to go in turns saying their Art of War name dropping when they never met you. Absolute, Kelsey. I've been on this for like the past year. Then COVID happened, so I don't think any progress on the tournament hosting front was made. But I would love for team names to have some merit right now instead of just like we put a team name down. And same thing, like if some dude who I'm not recognizing as part of the Art of War team lists Art of War for some reason and wins a GT, I'll benefit from that. But I would rather just not benefit from that and have a clearly defined system. You know, let's have teams be teams.
Yeah, there should be a little pin number that you have to enter to get on the team.
A pin! Plus you get more wounds in the tournament, plus they're OBSEC and minimal. There are different units to Hive Guard, and their purpose really shouldn't be killing Marines in tube cover. Their purposes should be being wounds and being OBSEC and being a unit like that. Ancillary benefit of I can actually do damage. Hive Guard just do damage. That's their purpose. So, and I hate Hive Guard. You don't have to tell me that Hive Guard are good.
You love Hive Guard.
I hate Hive Guard. I think Hive Guard are terrible. But the Termagon is not your answer to Terminators. I don't know how many ways you can use Mathemy, and I don't know how many ways I can say it, but that's take other stuff than just Termagons.
Get your Demon Karens.
Get your Demon Karens. Do I think Mechanized Astral Terra Flamers ignore how I saw it would do pretty good in Drukhari? I think it's worth testing. I do. I was talking about it the other day. I think Guard actually, remember to lower the threat profile? Guard are cheap as chips. Drukhari trading 5 Incubine and 10 Guardsmen. Nobody's excited for that trade. That feels pretty awful. So yeah, I think Guard can definitely hang with Drukhari.
They don't even kill 10 Guardsmen.
50 points for 100 plasma guns. Great. Awesome. I'll take that.
You left that one Guardsman alive.
Left with one Guardsman alive. What a jerk. The Slith and Urgle party sleeps underneath Nick's pillow at night. The Slith and Urgles, they are great creatures. Why are we looking at Necrons right now? We should be looking at Slith and Urgles. Time to get a new bedsheet sponsorship. That's right, Mr. Siegs. What are you doing? Why aren't you working on something?
I'm waiting for this to dry.
You're waiting for something to dry.
Look at this. Archaeoraptor Fuselage.
The Archaeoraptor Fuselage. Can't even dry on stream. Has to dry off stream. It seems like both Nick and John prefer fast armies, while Siegs plays more defense style. Is there a particular reason for this, or just personal preference? Would like to know Siegs' thoughts. Interesting. I feel like I play the most defensively. But go ahead, Siegs.
I play some armies with a lot of speed.
Go ahead.
The Tau army that I play has speed all over the place. Not every element, but I think you want mission playing stuff to at least have speed. Like in AdMech, you want the flyers for engage points. You want the Cerberus Raiders to help bully objectives, that type of thing. So I just don't build lists wholly built around speed. Like Harlequins, not an army that I'm that excited to play.
You're excited for a week? No.
I played them, but I wasn't that excited to play them.
I would say it's a preference thing, personally.
Yeah.
But
I typically prefer armies where I keep most of my key resources alive.
Corey, the Art of War 40k app doesn't exist yet, but it's on a piece of paper in the idea bucket somewhere.
Art of War 40k app?
It's been there for a while. We will get to it.
Apps are so expensive to make.
Yeah. They're also... Do I look like the kind of guy who knows how to build them? I probably do, but I don't.
Nick's going to go get his degree and then he'll build the Art of War 40k app. We're going to make you a programmer, Nick.
That's impossible. Like,
Nick's got to study for that.
There's a better chance I accidentally become a doctor before I become a tech programmer.
Dr. Nick is
Dr. Nick. Look at the
in
list,
the house.
doctor, right here. On the mid subject, do you reckon it was centered around getting Hormigons to AP2 and using them as shock troops like a cheaper version of Gene work? I think you're working too hard to use something that they're not made for. Hey, Nick. Any majors, changes to your sister's list deal with currently meta, or just a matter of playing it differently? Matt, what a great question. Thank you for the
$10.
super chat.
Appreciate
Good
you, Matt.
stuff, Matt. For my sisters, nothing too major, honestly, but I do think Arcoflagellants are really great, and the Palatine is awesome. So I'll probably swap a Canis to the Palatine, even though I love my Canises, and maybe swap Mortifiers, even though I like the Mortifiers, for Arcoflagellants, or probably the Mortifiers and Zephyr become Arcoflagellants. I don't know.
How expensive are
They're
Arcoflagellants?
15 each. I'm thinking like 3 squads of 5, like 2 squads of 5, and a squad of 10.
Oh, I'm looking.
Excuse me.
Because dying on stream.
Dying on stream. I don't know what happened. It's something in my throat. But no, I think.
Do you need water?
Yeah, I could go for some water. I got the cup right here. Thanks.
Okay.
It's empty. If you
Okay.
want to fill it. But thank you. I think Arcoflagellants are really good. The tricky part is like, how do I cut the Mortifiers and the Zephyrim, which I would consider the fat parts of my list? Because they're also the While We Stands, and I don't want to lose While We Stand, but Arcoflagellants are very helpful. Little tip, get a desk fan, USB fan that you can leave models next to you for drawing faster while playing. Alex Walker! You're a genius. You're a genius. Martin thinks Sean Naden's new list is a recipe for smashing Drukhari. Honestly, I kind of agree. I think Sean has pinpointed the meta being Drukhari and said I'm going to be a step ahead of that. And I am trying not to fall victim to such things, so I'm going to play a practice game with John Lennon, where he will be playing my list, the Slith and Urgle party, and John will be playing, or I will be playing Sean's list. And if we can get 5 War Room members, I think Corey already signed up for the War Room, so if we can get 4 War Room members by Wednesday morning, Tuesday night, John and I will do a bonus stream for you where we do this in the War Room. Otherwise, we will just do it on our own time, which is all less work for us. But this is good stuff. So if we get people interested in this, I will do it for them. How many Custodes Dreads is too many? A trick question. It's a trick question. What are your thoughts on Achilles vs. Gladius and their different roles and capabilities? What you priorities taking a pure list? I definitely like the shield ones. I think that's the Gladius. Gladiators have shields. I knew that. So I like that one. I just think the shield is really good in combat, and people kill dreadnoughts in combat a lot of times. So, and it wants to be in combat, so like use it to beat people up. And the flamer is also pretty badass. Like it's just a heavy flamer for 2d6 shots. That's like useful and good. Custodians struggle with hordes. 2d6 flamer shots, pretty good versus hordes. The game is also going in a direction which warrants flamers to come back. Drukhari don't like flamers. They really don't. They don't. And, alright, flamers aren't so good versus Space Marines. You know what is good versus Space Marines? Your flat 3 sword that hits them many, many times. Taking away the rerolls. Because the Dreadnoughts can just take away the rerolls. What jerks. You guys are jerks.
Stratagem takes it away. The dreadnoughts don't take it away.
This is what I live with. This is what non-stop.
To be
Just
technical.
birds
Excuse-
correcting me on my technicalities.
To be technical.
Ziggs isn't so bad with it. John, though. Oh, John.
John gets you on all of them.
Every single one. There's no chill. Nick, you slightly misspoke about this obscure thing that doesn't matter. Gotcha.
But also, why are you using Drukhari banners with your sisters?
Why are you using Drukhari banners with your sisters? I don't freaking know, John. Just why are we even talking about it? Just give me the damn banner.
That's how that played out.
What do you think about Death Riders? I think they ride to death.
Would you be able to grab me a Mephiston Red? Down on.
You're going to trust my eagle eyes,
Yep,
Mr. C?
Mephiston Red.
All right, what do you think about Death
It
Riders?
should be right there. What do I think about the Death Riders? They're quite strong. The problem comes is where do you get the extra detachment for them? So if you're playing pure guard, it's easier. But if
Nailed
you're
it.
doing allies, you really want the full payload mana cores and your normal guardsmen. Do you also then want a death core detachment? It's hard to justify that over some of the other options, whether you're going with sisters or Admech as allies. You start really running low on both command
I
points.
got water on my glasses from drinking because it gooped up.
All right.
I got water on my glasses. and interrupted Zeke's train of thought.
That's it.
That's it. All right, that's it. That's all we got to say about Death Riders right here. Is Ignore Covers mandatory on my Night Spinner or Keep Masters of Concealment? I mean, I'm a lot more afraid of Ignores Cover Night Spinners than not Ignores Cover Night Spinners. And if the Night Spinner is behind the wall, it doesn't care about cover. That said, the rest of your detachment probably does care about cover, but also cares about ignoring cover. So I would leave it up to, what is my entire detachment going to benefit more from or not. But the Night Spinners certainly benefit more from ignore cover. Which army do you think has the best mobile adaptive range combat ability? Dark Eldar. And that's why they're so... they're the fastest army. At this point, they're probably the most cost-effective at punching. Maybe Sisters Gotham beat there. Maybe. Their ranged isn't the most powerful, but it's certainly powerful enough that with the other two categories they excel in, they are just good. And they're cheap. They get all, Well, they don't have durability. That is the only spot they are severely lacking. The Slith and Urgle party is as durable as it gets. It's not easy to kill. For how cheap it is, it's stupid hard to kill. But in the end of the day, it's not hard to kill. You don't have Deathwing Terminators and Dark Eldar. So you're trying to leverage that, I guess, is that they are paying for elf durability, bad elf durability for 16 points a model. Yeah, maybe you can leverage that. It's hard. Worried about losing the threat range of Zephyr. Curious what put Arcos over top. Oh, I never even used the Zephyr for the threat range. The Zephyr don't do anything.
They turn into a Riptide and die to it.
They don't do anything. You could literally just take my list and turn Zephyr into Orcos. If you can keep it the same as for While We Stand purposes, nothing changes. Yeah. I will say that maybe my opponents act differently, because I'll put Zephyr in reserve, and now I have Zephyr in reserve, so that warrants some level of screening.
I didn't even screen against
They
them.
don't freaking do anything. This is
They just threw more.
they're so useless. I've always hated them. They're not bad because they're a While We Stand. So in the games where I need them to do something, like against the Rack army that doesn't exist anymore, I played against 60 racks that had or 80 racks that had 4 Binvils and 6 in pain and came back to life with Black Cornucopia. This is a month ago. Against that army, I needed that volume of attacks with rerolls to wound. In every other game, they didn't do anything. Half the games are While We Stand, but anything that costs enough points can just be a While We Stand.
I'd rather have 5 more Seraphim. Honestly.
Yeah, 5 more Seraphim would do way more than 9 Zephyr. Way more. Again, the While We Stand is the thing here. But let's take a big unit of Seraphim, see if you can get them to be a While We Stand. Actually, that's not bad. That's actually pretty good. Do that. Siegs with the ideas. My man. Sister Savant over here. Sometimes you just gotta off and on with your ideas, just off and on Siegs, and then she comes back and software updated overnight, and now he's 10-man Seraphim squad. Somehow that was what I drew from this conversation. Everyone's talking about Yukari and the meta and stuff. That's good. Nick, would you rather watch Shark Boy and Lava Girl every day for a year, or write an essay on Lord of the Rings?
Well, he's got 2. He has to write 2 more essays on Lord of the Rings.
I would write an essay on Lord of the Rings. I would hate doing it. I will hate doing it. But at the same time, 1 day of misery versus a year of doing stuff. Even if I like doing it, I don't like doing the same thing every day. Fundamentally, that bothers me. So this would grind my gears. This would make me sad. Yeah. When you realize that Elasgun and autocannon is the same effectiveness for Dark Eldar, but at 10 times the cost premium because the meta is conditioned to fight versus MEQ. I don't know about all that, but I will trust your math. What's your guys' take on the recent cheating scandal? Do you think it's more prevalent than people think? What's the recent cheating scandal? TJ's cheating scandal? I feel like we covered that. That's kind of old news as far as the internet's concerned. That was last week.
But no, I don't think it's that prevalent.
No, cheating gets snuffed out very hard in this hobby. Like, if you're a cheater,
For good reason.
you don't make it too long. Yeah, for good reason, absolutely. So, if anything, I think they've done a great example of making TJ an example. So hopefully, any people who flirted with the lines will stop flirting with the lines and just stay straight.
Yeah. No one wants to play a top table game and you have to watch your opponent like a hawk. And luckily, I have not had to experience that.
It sucks. Not a fan. Okay, so I think we're gonna wash now.
Haven't you been washing?
Yeah, but we gotta keep washing. If you wash enough times, eventually it gets painted. This is a technique.
This is the Nick Nurgle technique.
This is the Nick Nurgle technique. The Nurgle army gets painted the fastest. Then takes minutes.
Painted in quotes, of course.
Painted, it's one of our best looking armies. You find me something that looks quite as disgusting. For that little effort.
Am I going to paint these Remores before you paint those 2 Harlequins? That's a question.
The Harlequins aren't getting done today. They're getting.
These Remores, Mike.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you will. I don't really see how this is a question. But the Harlequins are a project of love. And like all labors of love, they should not be rushed. They should be done with care.
Well, this is a labor of love going on almost a year and a half now.
Yeah, well, you can't rush perfection. Siegs keeps trying to rush perfection. John tries to paint Space Marines rapid fire. It's like, every day I'm going to paint 400 Space Marines. Like, John, chill. Actually, it's good, but, you know.
Well, he's got to paint a Death Watch army now.
That's true. I don't know how he got bamboozled into doing that, but I'm glad he's been bamboozled.
I think it was fear of you having to paint the Death Watch army. That's what got him.
Excellent. If you cheat, your competitive career is basically over. The top tier gamers are nice enough or niche enough. That's true. That's true, Lawrence. Remember that time with Jeff at London GT? Who doesn't? I personally think the majority of unknown cosplayers and cheaters are in the GT level and don't really exist outside of that. I mean, most people who play at the GT level definitely also go to LVO. You just don't hear about them winning LVO. Like, very few people. Well, okay, that's not true. I'm sure there's lots of people who go to LVO but don't go to GTs. But remember, LVO is like 1,000 people, so that's you can exist in both pools pretty well. Any idea what faction you are bringing to the ACO, Mr. Siegs? Get me the feeling the Necron's time has passed. What are you bringing to ACO?
We're going to wait on that AdMech book.
Oh. We're going to wait on the AdMech
When
book.
we get that AdMech book, then I'll tell you what I'm taking.
What if the AdMech book doesn't come?
If it doesn't come, then I'm going to beat Nick with Tau.
He's going to beat me with Tau! The stones on this robot. Stones, Mr. Siegs.
But I assume AdMech will be out and we'll see what their rules are like.
No, we won't see what their rules are like. Okay, alright. I think... Is this one done? It's getting there. I think it still needs some drying time. So we'll keep waiting. Alright, everybody. I have a question. And I would like all of your participation in the question. Who's ready for Mark Perry's Emperor's Children and Mortarian nonsense in the War Room tomorrow night versus my Drukhari? Because apparently that thing is actually undefeated against Drukhari. He's beaten me once. He took down Drukhari in the tournament this past weekend that he just won. And somehow Noise Marines and Mortarian and Foul Blight Spawn, like, roundabout counter Drukhari. And I'm excited. I'm a little tantalized.
Tantalized?
Tantalized.
What's so tantalizing?
I don't know. I mean,
Mark just
a worthy opponent.
claiming glory over
A
here.
worthy opponent is tantalizing because clearly John's not one of them.
Mark is running Seagulls.
Yeah, sure. Eversur Assassin good into Dark Eldar. It feels so expensive in my mind. Someone asked me, and it lives rent free in my head now. Still has the old wording on its fight twice.
There's plenty of things that actually have old wording on its fight twices, so you do still have to be careful.
Yeah.
Things like Harlequins.
I don't think an Eversur is like bad into Dark Eldar. It's 100 points. They'll trade for any of their units, and it's kind of annoying to deal with. I don't think it's particularly great into Dark Eldar.
No, mostly because you need to kill the boats first. So
Yeah,
you need some
it's-
reliable answer to kill the transports.
Like, I would, if I was talking in the context of Sisters, Tim, because I know you're a Sisters player, I would rather have 2 units of 5 Battle Sisters for 110 than 1 Eversur for 100. Like, you will just be happier with that choice against Dark Eldar, I think. Have the Talus been modified? I'm kind of feeling the extra stealth drones. Sieg's Talus is constantly evolving.
Yeah, these are the next 3. This will bring me up to 9 if I want to run 9. But I have been impressed by their wars every single game. They've been absolute superstars.
Matt's got his list. 2K on the dot. Beautiful. Love to see it. You don't have anything that hard checks droning Morty, Nick, at least with your last list. No, I don't. I can't really kill Mortarion. I can stall him by just like running away and being faster, but he's going to take about 500-600 points in my army by the end of it if I just ignore him for 5 turns.
How long do the Court of the Archons tar pit him for?
If I charge him, I survive. So he's tied up through his turn. But 2 rounds and I'm done.
2 rounds? It only takes him 2
It
rounds?
takes him 2 rounds, yeah.
Okay. That's quick.
Yeah. Because he uses the super hitty attacks, right? So he chapter masters himself because it's Mark's the only thing to do in that list. So 7 attacks, 7 hits, and then wounding on 2s rolling, so 7 wounds. And every 5 up invul I fail, or 6 up if it's early, is D3 plus 3 damage. So minimum 4 damage into my 3/1 Feel No Pain model. You can survive, and if you do, it's awesome. It takes 2 hits to kill 1 Slith. But, like, if it's every failed save is just a dead guy, all the durability of my unit is on 3 wounds and Feel No Pain. If that's not saving me, then there is no durability to that unit. If he tries to sweep attack me, I think it'll end horribly for him, but Mark hasn't been doing that. So that's a big problem. And the other problem is if he can just keep the Noise Marines under the Foul Blight spawn, I can't charge Noise Marines. Even if I charge him with Fight Last and make him Fight Last, my Fight Last will just cancel with the Always Strikes First from the Emperor's Children because that's how rare rules work. So then it's just me charging under the effects of a Foul Blight spawn and I will just Fight Last. Or I will fight as if I didn't charge. Mark will fight first because it's my turn, to be correct about it. So I'll get my ass kicked. So that's the combo of not being able to kill Morty, stall Morty effectively, or kill or charge the Noise Marines it's a very hard game. So not all Dark Eldar lists are super vulnerable to that. If you have like a large unit of Hellions or Reavers, you can probably get a nasty flyover on the Noise Marines and make your life a lot better. But if you have a huge unit of Hellions or Reavers, you have a very different matchup bracket than my list does. So different strengths, different weaknesses. How'd that Gleam campaign go, by the way? Siegs, how'd the Gleam campaign go?
Wonderful. We had almost, I think it was like 25,000 entries supporting us in our social media.
Damn.
So
That's awesome.
all the prizes went out. I notified the winners last week. Today, in fact, tonight is the last day to claim your prizes. So if you had any friends participate, if you participated, do let them know that tonight is the last night to notify us to get your prize.
Awesome. Definitely a lot of people, I'd say like a third of the prizes are still unclaimed.
Less than that.
Less than that? Okay, well,
Yeah.
still, there's some prizes not claimed yet. We have raffled up. We have picked winners. We've contacted you. Please do claim your prizes if you listen to this. Otherwise, they'll be lost to the void, and that's sad. But yeah, Gleam campaign super successful. Very happy with it. Thank you all for your support and your participation.
And right now we're running a survey, right, Nick?
We are running a survey. I will link it again because that's how the internet works. Things get lost in the void. Data. Right, Seeks? Data. Data. Hellstorm Wargaming, what's going on? Or Hellfire Tabletop Gaming, that's the same thing. Sorry. What am I painting? I'm painting...
What's a more iconic duo? Nick versus reading?
Reading is challenging. I'm washing these two Harlequins. They're getting washed. Right, Seeks?
They're barely getting any work done.
They're basically finished.
That's what's happening.
Yeah. Are you excited for D.O.? Hopefully I can meet you guys. Dallas Open! Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. Very excited. Doe? We're very excited. I'll be going over on Thursday, playing on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Good times. Definitely try to catch up.
Nick already called his shot.
I always call my shot. If you guys can only play one army out the year, what would it be? When do I have to choose? I don't know. I think I would have said Sisters because they're just very dynamic and something. There's always something to do with Sisters. I don't like being limited to one army per year. I got Army ADD, probably because it's my job. So that would suck for me. I used to play Demons and only Demons for like 3 years, but back then I did a lot of not 40k. Like go to school and stuff. What would you play, Siegs?
Tau. I tremendously enjoy the feeling of people getting salty that they got seriously outplayed by Tau.
No one gets. There's no getting seriously outplayed by Tau. It's literally just right? 2-man drones just ruining my day.
This is Nick.
We got two of feel no pain.
I can't run I can't win with broken Iron Hands against 8th edition Taus.
You're playing Iron Hands with your Tau. It's the same freaking army. You just did drones instead of cogitated martyrdom. It's the same thing.
That's my favorite.
I hate you, Six.
Also, second favorite was when Farsight Enclaves came out, and I started testing all these new rules, and Nick was like, "This is the most broken thing ever."
He
went so deep down. He was like John when Drukhari came out. He was so deep down the rabbit hole. He was trying to build like 6 different hold you in combat abilities.
It was fine. Like, I'm not losing this stuff. That's what moving in with Siegs will do to you and John. It's like they convince you they're just broken, and then you're sad. Don't do that. Don't move in with Siegs and John. Robots, I tell you. Okay. We got some stuff here. Maximum trolling. Where are we getting beers at in Dallas? Hunter, I don't know. I've never been to Dallas. I've been to Austin. I've been to San Antonio. I went to Houston. I've never been to Dallas, so I'm open to all suggestions. Other than, of course, the top table matchup. That's what I like to hear. Until you, me in the finals, baby. Let's go. No one's saltier than the Fishman. Tom Green, my man. You know what's going on. The fish people are salt creatures. You know where the fish live? The ocean. You know what the ocean is? Salt water. Salt water. Do you know what the term salty came from? Do you know why people use the expression salty for like ragey and feeling bad in games?
Enlighten us.
I will tell you, it's a real thing. It's because when you eat something really salty, or like when you have something super salty, your face makes this expression like... It's like that. And people who complain in games and all that stuff are referred to as salty somehow because of the correlation there. And
somehow.
and the fish live in the salt water. Yep.
Is that science?
That's science. This is science right here. You think Tower freshwater fish? Hell no. Hell no. That's what the crude are for.
That's Vespids.
Vespids are like the what are they called? The dragonflies, or whatever they're called. They fly above the water, but like near the water. They're those little creatures. They're dragonflies.
Dragonflies are really cool.
And Kroot are like rhinoceros.
You know, this looks like a dragonfly. The Archaeoraptor.
The Archaeoraptor fuselage. Hello, I'm a French player. What is your favorite army to play? Mr. Siegs, you're like French.
Not at all. My favorite army to play is Tau. I like Tau. I like Admech as well. Necrons. Say those are my 3 favorite.
I think from a play style perspective, I actually enjoy Eldar the most. Like Eldari. I really like playing fast stuff.
The movement tricks.
The movement tricks. But demons have my heart, so I do love the demons.
I like Custodes as well.
The triple battalion farce of this was a monkey paw moment for Tau. Undisputed strong storm in the game and no events to win with it. Absolutely, Tim. You understand.
I was so ready for it to show up in Adepticon.
No.
Nick,
No.
Nick just rage quits.
I would have rage quit. That's not help. It's not acceptable. Unacceptable behavior. Follow on the court.
COVID ruined those plans.
If COVID might have saved my 40K career. Forced us all into retirement for a year instead of letting me just go into Siegs' pocket. If LVO was next month, would the house come up with the best list or would everyone run different lists? I think we would try to come up with the best list. I think that is the mindset we have right now. For something less serious than LVO, we're all experimenting on different stuff, but this lets us help us identify what the best list actually is when push comes to shove. Now, what do you think, Siegs?
Yeah, because we have to practice against it. Even if you're going to run something different, you need to determine what are going to be those top 5 or so lists.
Yeah,
or at least archetypes.
When Breviathan happened, Mark still played Mark stuff, even though the rest of Brohammer all played Breviathan. So
yeah, he played practice games into us with his chaos and the various chaos.
You're welcome to do whatever you want to do. It's not like we're holding each other to gunpoint. You have to play the same thing as me. I actually would prefer John Dussing just copy my list for Dallas. But if we think it's that good, no reason not to take your best shot at winning a tournament.
But ideally, the tournament circuit or the game itself will not have anything that's undisputed best. It'll have 5-6 different options and a healthy meta, and then it's going to come down to player skill.
Yeah, it's not like Breviathan is the best army in the game, or Inari is just what you take. Maybe exactly today's moment it is with Dark Eldar, but also apparently there's Dark Eldar counters, which I need to test against. But
there's a metagame within Dark Eldar.
There's a metagame within Dark Eldar for sure. So, defining that and identifying that and playing for that is all something. But the game isn't so unhealthy where it's just it's actually really healthy right now, which makes it very hard to come up with the list because the list still has problems. It's what are we likely to fight here?
Yeah.
You don't like playing Tyranids? I love playing Tyranids. Tyranids are another one of my favorite armies, but they often fall into I love them too, but I love demons a little bit more.
The one wound Scorpius took Nick off Tyranids.
The Hive Guard really have torn me. I get a lot of pent up aggression and hatred towards the Hive Guard right here. Not really pent up. I let it go all the time. Got to keep that stuff in check. But
so much so that Nick didn't even try the Democarian builds.
No, I'm not interested in that. How's Hive Guard? I want warriors. I want warriors to return. I tried one game with 18 warriors last year. It was against Mark's Noise Marines when we were still first discovering what Noise Marines could do, and Mark just blew up all my warriors because in hindsight,
he waited until they actually got close, then blew them all up.
Yeah.
He just ignored them until they got close because they don't do anything.
In hindsight, Noise Marines hard counter the warriors. Noise Marines hard counter a lot of stuff. Is what they do. But I didn't know that back then. I was just like, wow, warriors suck. And
they've gotten cheaper since then, though.
They've gotten cheaper? I think they got a rule, maybe, that helped.
Let's not get crazy.
No, probably not. I believe the best army matchups right now versus Dark Eldar are Sisters and Harlequins, at least from my experience. Have you practiced this matchup yet? We have practiced the Sisters one a fair bit. I agree. I think Sisters versus Dark Eldar is a fairly even matchup. Maybe slightly favored to Dark Eldar, but pretty similar. Pretty fair. I think the Harlequins versus Dark Eldar, I've not tried it, but I think that's a tough one. I definitely think that's one where you could very easily just lose as a Dark Eldar player because Harlequins can counter you and they're super powerful and fast. They're faster than you.
Well, they can stop your primary from getting out of control.
They can stop my primary. They can de-mech me if they have Skyweavers. And they're pretty much operating at the same price point that I am. All squads are 90 points. My squads are 80 points. And we just kill each other. Now, the only thing that keeps me super happy with the Harlequin matchup is Rackofires, because Rackofires are awesome to Harlequins. But if they have the -6-inch aura range,
They're
The Aquafires are 6-inch range. What am I doing with that? This is why you don't own 60 Aquafires.
Yeah, minus 60 range is brutal for that. Wow.
I love /hate Hiveguard. They let you down so hard, so often. But they always have that one buck wild turn, so you can't cut them from the list. Oh, Tim, I know. You gotta... Tyranids have to run Hiveguard because it changes how your opponent plays and respects and all that stuff. And Hiveguard really do define a lot of the matchups for Tyranids, but at the same time, they're so freaking bad. And if they're my Hiveguard, they don't do anything, so you might as well just cut them. Triple D, care. You coming to the UK this year, Nick? We just had our first 3-day event announced. I would love to go, Tom Green. It's been too long since I've been in the UK to play some 40K, but I don't know if I'm allowed to. I've been vaccinated, so hopefully I'm allowed to. I have not been keeping up with the international law policies on this stuff at all. Probably should look into that at some point. Won't be today. I've been playing a lot of games with my Marines versus Drukhari. I've had more success running a lot of MSU. Deathwatch has been my number one since almost every unit is OBSEC, White Scars, and Salaries come next. Oh yeah, OBSEC Space Marines are still solid. I think Space Marine players have to go back to what actually makes them good, and that's just we got good stats somewhere OBSEC.
There was a White Scars list that won a GT this past weekend. It had 30 Vanguard vets, and it had 3 Volkite Contemptors.
Dude, that dude knew what he was doing. He's like, I'm going to freaking shoot Dark Eldar and charge Dark Eldar. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, and he won.
Yeah, it's a great army. Every list is taking Veil plus Shadow Summon and Master Skyweavers who can single-handedly run Dark Eldar list over. They pop your transports, out-threat you at every vector. Absolutely! No, Skyweavers are rough for Dark Eldar. Especially with minus 6-inch range and minus 1 to wound. I would actually try to beat Harlequins on the mission, which is a horrible, horrible way to play 40k because that's hard. But I don't see a way where I just win the killing stuff battle versus Harlequins if they're doing their job right. So I do have a lot more OBSEC than they do typically. I'm running 9 squads in my latest builds. They also can't kill the Slits and Urgles, which is why I love my Slits and Urgles. They really do help in some hard matchups. So same thing with Sean's list with the Night Spinners and the Reapers to blow up all my Readers. That sucks. That'll work. And Night Spinners are also an amazing counter to Hellions, and people are all about the Hellions. Also why I'm against the Hellions. But, you know what they're not an awesome counter to? Slits and Urgles who are on screen right now, right this very second. Look at those things. I guess by the time that I say that, they're probably off screen because the screen is rotating.
Yep. And
there's a lag. But they're on screen when I said it, and that is what counts. Alright. Nick, I've been running your list, but with 2 units of Arcos and dropped the Admonition Cannons for double Smite Inquisitor. Been really happy with it. Awesome, Tim. I love those changes. Arco Flagellants, beautiful. I think Inquisitors are useful, for sure. I'm going to focus Tyranids for tournament play for a while. Think the faction can hold up. I think so. Tyranids, they're very mono builds right now, which sucks. But I don't think their build is going anywhere. So probably hold up until you get a new codex, I imagine. They're fast, they're OBSEC, they're tough, they're hard to kill stuff really hard, they got indirect fire.
They got speed.
There's stuff to do with the Tyranid faction, even while you don't have updated rules. I don't think that stuff is going to go anywhere anytime soon.
They're in a similar place to Tau, where they have play on them. They play the mission well enough that you can just outplay people.
Mm-hmm.
But against the very brand new top tier codexes, it's an uphill battle.
Definitely. How are these crisis suits coming?
They're coming along.
Are they coming like the Harlequins?
Much better.
Much better. I don't know. Let's. I think we're approaching that time. Let's show you a before and after, so you guys can see how my Harlequins have progressed through today's day and age. Then we'll get it going. Ooh, Slits and Urgles with ASL. What's ASL? I don't know what that is. Slits and Urgles with ASL, check Harlequins well. Some people teching the 12-man unit with Kisses, plus Murderous Entrance, plus Twilight Pathways to take on Terminator buffs. People be teching whatever they be teching. Harlequins are a very techy army because of their weapon profiles and how you can build your units. But if they're doing stuff like that, they're not taking quite as many Skyweavers and Resin Transport. So he plays the matchup you're given. the mission you're given. That's Harlequins. I don't have a specific plan a lot of time with my Dark Eldar like I do for like my Death Guard. My Death Guard, I can tell you exactly how every game is going to go from turn 1 to turn 5. Why? Because I move 4 inches a turn and I can't deviate. I'm stuck. I deploy and then I execute. Dark Eldar, I'll change my plan in the middle of turn 2. Halfway through turn 2, I'm like, I don't like this plan anymore. Let's go this way. So, yeah, I don't get married to plans of Dark Eldar. I have good 40k tactics, understand how things work, and just let the game flow. Right, Mr. Seeks?
Just let it flow.
Let it flow.
Not the paint, though. Don't let the paint flow.
The washes are flowing. Okay. With armies that are so different out there, like Drukhari, Dark Angels, Death Guard, Terror, do you think that armies have to be more well-rounded rather than focused on one thing? Absolutely, Kelsey. This is the mantra I try to instill in all my Art of War students forever, like the OG Sun Tzu himself.
No.
Yeah.
No.
What do you mean?
Sun Tzu wouldn't listen to you.
Sun Tzu, I'm going to copyright Sun Tzu. Like, he stole my friggin' brand. Come after you with some trademarks, my man. So, this is my progress today. Just to recap before we
Progress being used very lightly there.
Why
Very
do you
lightly.
have to be so aggressive
Very
with your
lightly.
tone? No. Just progress. Progress is progress, okay?
Is it?
2 hours ago, Harlequins weren't as painted as they are now.
They didn't have as many washes.
We are closer to having a finished Harlequin army than we were 2 hours ago. You're welcome. You're welcome. Dark Eldar get 10% more expensive. Are they a bad army? No, I think 10% more expensive is exactly where they need to be a balanced, good army. 10% is exactly... my lists feel 200 points over. They're not, because Dark Eldar's undercosted, but it feels like I have one Raider full of stuff too much every game. Like, if you just take a Raider full of stuff away, I'd have to play a lot tighter. So anyway, this dude right here, this is a Harlequin that's just started. It's primed purple and John painted some blue. These two Harlequins are today's fruits and labor. Now they got their weapons base coated and washed. They got their armor washed. They got their purple cloaks washed. They got the hair. They're looking good. They're looking good. Like, clearly two different Harlequins to the one that was initially shown. I will let you be the judge. You can, like, barely tell because of the green screen. It's very, like, see-through. Interesting. Let's see on these ones. They're not bad. Those are not so bad. Yeah. Okay. No, I think if Dark Eldar go up 20%, they would actually be bad. But we can debate that, I suppose. We're not going to.
Who knows what Games Workshop's going to do?
Yes.
It's very unclear if they're going to do anything.
All right, everybody. I think the Harlequins are sufficiently painted for today. So I'll see you in about a month for the next week's paint stream. Stay tuned.
What do we got coming up?
We got a lot of stuff coming up. We got the Art of War survey. I'll put it right in here so you can check it out one more time. You can fill it out and win your chance to get a free coaching session with me and Siegs together. It's a lot like this paint stream, except I won't be pretending to paint Harlequins, and it will actually be specifically tailored to help you. We got a lot of cool stuff. But tomorrow we got back-to-back stream games on normal Tuesday 1 to 4 on our YouTube channel. That'll be me playing the Magnus Morty Lord of Change, the Homebrew, the Scooby-Doo, into John's Tyranids. We're going to see if the Democarians can handle the Mortarian. They can't. I checked. And immediately after that, we're going to be playing in the War Room Mark's GT winning army that somehow hard counters Dark Eldar versus my Dark Eldar. See what the mad scientist Mark has cooked up and how it actually works. See if it's just a fallacy and Mark is just doing Mark stuff. We want to know.
Are you feeling confident, Nick?
No.
No?
I'm not feeling unconfident. I feel that game is... If I was to put money on that game, it would be entirely me betting on myself versus Mark, not me betting on Dark Eldar versus Chaos. Which, I'm always going to bet on me. King of the Streamhouse for a reason. But, army to army, I think it's pretty fair. If any army to army, I think I should lose, honestly.
Do you think there are missions that are tougher for you?
I would have to think about Mark's missions. Dark Eldar play every mission. It doesn't matter to me what
Yeah.
mission it is. But there are missions where my opponent benefits from having like a free secondary, or like if the objectives are all closer and it's a brick style army like the 24 Beasts of Nurgle, that sucks. But like, scouring versus retrieval, it's all the same to me. It's just what is my opponent's strengths and weaknesses. And that's why I don't go in having a plan. I just let the flow. Anyways, we'll be doing back-to-back games tomorrow. Maybe a bonus stream if we can get 4 more War Room signups by Wednesday. It was 5. We already got one of them. Then we will do a bonus game from me and John. But thanks so much for watching, everyone, and I will see you all later.
Thanks so much, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Competitive 40K and become a member of the world's most knowledgeable and positive community.
The War Room is an exclusive group that brings together the world's best 40K players as coaches to help anyone from a newer player to an experienced tournament veteran learn, grow, and reach their goals within our shared hobby.
Each week we offer a variety of live stream coaching matches centered around illuminating the thought process and in-game decision making of top players. We explain everything we're doing and why.
You'll learn about the ever-evolving meta, match play mission theory, list making, and discussion of every faction in the game, and have access to analysis of all the latest rules. Our team of highly experienced coaches teach weekly clinics on each individual faction, strategy sessions on deployment and cool tricks, and meta-analyses each week during Meta Monday.
We are committed to not only providing the best knowledge for players available, but also building a one-of-a-kind community.
Come be a part of the War Room.